what programs do you see attempting to replicate Georgia's defensive football focus in order to win? Which do you think will be successful? I guess another way to put it would be, which programs should attempt that approach? Keep up the good work. I appreciate that. My answer is none. I don't think anyone's going to try it. I don't even think Kirby Smart plans on trying to exactly duplicate the formula they just used. To be clear, Georgia just earned a national championship, and they'll remember it for all eternity. Good for them. I was there. I was standing right there on the field when it happened. And that was a generational occurrence, especially if you're like me. I grew up in Georgia, so I know the significance of that. But to talk about a model or a blueprint, that team was very special. I don't think I need to tell anyone that. 5 first-round draft picks, Nakobe Dean inexplicably not among that group, even though he may have been one of, if not the best defensive players. Here's what you have to do, because if you want to use that model, if you're outside of Athens, Georgia, you watched them, and you say, you know what, I want to do it Georgia's way. All you got to do is go find you about half a dozen first-round caliber defensive players, and then you got to have several more that will eventually be first-rounders on the depth chart behind them. That's point one. Point two is you have to have quarterback figured out, but what do I mean by that? See, because I think a lot of folks are going to look back on 2021 with revisionist history and say that Kirby Smart knew what he was doing with Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett didn't even start the season at quarterback. That wasn't the plan. JT Daniels started against Clemson. JT Daniels ended up having injury, and Stetson Bennett stepped in and then secured his legacy for all eternity too, because he made the most of an opportunity. He did exactly what they needed him to do. He did things that I never thought he would be capable of doing. I never thought Stetson Bennett, I think I said it on the show several times, I never thought Stetson Bennett would be able to maintain a level, just a minimum baseline level of performance they needed to win a title. I was wrong. He did maintain that. Is that the model someone else is going to be able to use going forward? I don't know about that. And then you also need to remember this. Even with all that talent defensively, we saw what happened when it faced elite quarterback play and elite wide receiver play in the SEC championship game. They got run. They atoned for it in the national championship game. A lot of people want to talk about injuries at wide receiver for Bama. Point being, they won the title. But what I'm saying is, think about the needle they had to thread. Think about how much had to go right there. So you can either try and do it like that, or you can say, let's just go get a bunch of racehorse wide receivers. Let's go get us an elite quarterback. And I include Kirby Smart there. Kirby Smart just went through what he went through, and he found out how tough it is to win a national championship. But I guarantee you, when Kirby Smart looks at the team he just had, but he envisions the future of Georgia football, I guarantee you he plans on being far more potent offensively. I guarantee you he plans on having a lot more firepower offensively. And if Kirby Smart, let's just say in 2025, they win the title that year. Maybe they won more between now and then. But let's just safely look down the road to 2025. So 2 or 3 recruiting classes from now. Whatever Georgia football looks like in 2025, I will almost certainly be willing to guarantee you offensively, it is night and day different from what they were in this past year, because they can be that. They're capable. They don't have to do it one way. They can do it any way they want to. It's kind of like how Saban evolved. Okay, Kirby Smart, he has the resources and the advantage to be able to evolve the program however he wants to. I don't think he wants to rely on that specific set of ingredients always coming together. I think he wants to remove a lot of the margin for error. I think he wants to have a lot of Jamison Williams on his team. I think he wants to have a Bryce Young on his team. Makes things a whole lot easier.